All right, so continuing Fireside Chat. I hope lunch was good and the conversations were good in hopping. It's time for me to hop on over into the Fireside Chat. And I have a gentleman with me who is doing big things, like big things, okay? So his name is Jean Andre Lowell Lawrence, JLL for short. He specializes in music production. Before I give you the big news, which most of us may know by now, let me give you the other things that he's known for. He has composed instrumentals for artists like Chronix, Cranium Movado, Popcorn, Ching Ching, Idonia, Sizzla, Kesnamdi, Kalissa, most recently Drake. Yeah. You know, he's like, a little something. He was actually featured on Drake's latest album, Certified Lover Boy, right? And of course, he mixes music, blending many styles and genres. Hi, JLL. Thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon.
I mean, it's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure. Thank you for even having me.
I'm honored to sit with you. I mean, it's just...
I'm honored to sit with you, man. Time and just experience in the industry. It's
my gosh.
It's humbling,
Yeah, right? Yes. And, pandemic would have been devastating and has been devastating for a lot of us creatives.
Yeah.
And, we have found pockets of greatness, right? And with you, I'm sure this recent feat was a great one for you as well, right? Yeah.
It was a great one and it was an unexpected one.
Yeah.
Because it came about the week that the album was released. So I had to be talking to the attorney, Drake's attorney, talking to Masego's manager, talking to my manager, just a whole back and forth of trying to figure out, all right, how do we get the legalities of this thing sorted?
Right.
But we got through, and it happened, and everything happened so fast. Like it was a very new thing for me.
Yeah.
A very new thing because I've never had any of my productions sampled before. Like,
right.
People sample songs from way back, and people sample a lot of Jamaican songs like Bam Bam and them thing there. So to have a song that I produced,
which one? Because just for persons who
so the song I'm referencing is Drake's Champagne Poetry, and the sample that they had used was a song I produced called Navajo by Masego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that song was originally made about 2017, Navajo, and I gave Masego the beat back in 2015, and I made the beat back in 2013.
Yeah.
2014, 13. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You would think you created something so long ago, you probably would have thought, like 2021, I'm going to be on Drake's album.
Made that in my mom's room, man. And like... Well, my mom's house in my room, and just stayed up all night, got inspired by a radio playlist I was listening to online. And I just went on YouTube, did some digging, made something inspired by something I found. And
That's incredible. That's incredible. So that was 2014. You were making beats in your mom's house. But how long? I mean, was it much long or earlier than that you have been in the world of production and music?
Well, I've been interested and involved in making music since 2009.
Okay.
But like that's just like the innocent just wanting to make beats and sick things, and in high school just going through. But I think the industry part and the more serious part came in, let's say, 3 years ago. When like I was working more with Chronix and Kalissa and J Magizmo, Teflon, Jazz Elise, and building up with artists, and seeing that this thing can make money. Because for the majority of my career, I wasn't making any money. I was just living with my parents, and they were very supportive and still are. But as of recently, I've been able to develop a sound, that I can say is mine, that has done what it's done so far,
Yeah. Yeah. With the pandemic, it has really, we've been talking about this. Yes, it has impacted the creative industry. But how have you managed to kind of find a footing that works, that has helped to keep you afloat?
Just keep your connections, man, because it was affecting everyone. So it just becomes a new normal.
Yeah.
So it's just like everyone's going through the same thing. So you just try to arrange your link ups based on what the guidelines are, and just ensure that certain things are in place. But link ups still happen. Music is still being made. Spend more time in a house, either making music or just being depressed.
Well, I'm hoping it's more.
It's a very depressing
I'm hoping
time.
it's more of number one and not number two.
No, but these are
even though we
important
can't
things.
ignore that, because we
These are
know
important
that
things.
especially for us who we're so used to going outside and meeting people and networking and talking, and sometimes in that vibe something amazing happens.
Yes, because it's just that you spend a lot of time. Reason why I even say the depression, not to make it sound sad or anything like that, but it's like when you spend a lot of time by yourself and you spend a lot of time having to deal with your inner things, it's just like it can either break it down further or it can build up into something bigger than you ever thought. And I think a lot of people, even a lot of my peers in music, have really said that the pandemic has helped them to further and focus their career into certain places. And I feel like, for me, it was just battling my emotions, trying to just push through the very dark times and just the unknown, like where's this thing gonna go and how bad is it gonna get, and just understand that it's out of our control. Just do what you do what you keep doing, and at the end of the day, like it's gonna show itself, and as long as you keep the faith, then for some reason it's gonna work out.
Exactly. What are some of the, I don't want to call them challenges, but being a young music producer, right? The experiences that you've had so far, and have you, in those experiences, discovered ways in which you can have a better experience?
Well, in being a young producer in general, it's like being a young creative, being a young person who's unproven, who is not taken seriously for the most part, and who is just seen as an innocent, bright spark that's just making things and wants to put things out and wants people to like their things, and then you get introduced into the industry. You get introduced into what artists like, what they want, how their minds stay with music. It's not all about, like those chords are great. It's more about like, all right, is this song gonna be a big song in the dance? Is it gonna be a big song for my community? Can this song make me tour? How much dumb money this song can make me get?
This is actually very good. Like we are getting the inside of the mind of artists who would actually have to stand up in a booth and hear this rhythm that you've made and figure out, is this the right track for me and song for me?
For sure. And I mean, it's a balance, because you have artists that are in it for just the music.
Right.
Those are the ones that I kind of prefer to work with, the ones that have that kind of integrity. But I feel every artist has an integrity. Initially starts out with one, but then you realize there's more pieces to the pie.
Right.
So I don't think there's an artist out there that's just doing it just for whatever reason. But then at some point when you realize that, all right, you're growing up, you're not a child anymore. As a young producer, you're becoming now a young adult. And your resources, you're using someone else's resources. Because granted, music doesn't make that much money unless you know what you're doing, unless you know where your groove is. And it's going to take a while to figure that out. So as a young producer, it's important to just, I had to humble myself, and I had to just believe in the patience of it, understand, listen, and learn. Even though I might meet people that might not be quite my comfort zone, that's the perfect thing, because then, your comfort zone is a lie, and the reality of things is really...
Let me write that down somewhere. Your comfort zone
No, it is,
is a lie. L-I-E.
It's a lie,
Take notes.
man.
Okay.
It's a lie,
Good
man.
word.
No, but and it really made me kind of just keep that blind faith that, hey, man, like, I'll be respected and my music will be loved and appreciated just by the nature of me being a student to the game, and me just allowing the music to speak for itself and not to develop a premature excitement and understanding and confidence that is not grounded in reality.
Like a year around the place.
Exactly. And that never the
place.
case. Never the case. It's always a place bigger than your
And
place.
for our international audience, when we say a mirror on the place, it means that you are at the top of the game. You are the greatest in what you're doing right now. And
yes.
I have to break down the
no man, that's important.
Or language for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting, because I often think that producers don't get the kind of recognition, kudos.
That's true.
We always hear about the artist and the music, and it's like produced by. You know what I mean? Like it's a clincher versus, this is a person who went, got the beats together on a computer, spent hours to arrange them, mix them, all these little things to make it sound amazing for you to get that energy that sparks the creativity that you can write. Or, or you yourself write, or somebody else writes to produce the music that we hear and enjoy.
And it's just like, it's because the artist is the brand.
Yeah.
So just like you have a movie, the movie is the brand, and you have the director, but you have so many people that work behind the scenes. And with music, I think the main focus is that labels and the artists themselves are trying to push their image and their brand. Producers don't do that as much, and producers also usually don't have the that's a lie. Some producers do have the influence to push an artist and get artists places, but that's their main job. They don't need to be seen. I think the advent of celebrity producers are coming about more often nowadays.
Yeah.
I think in Jamaica we highlight producers a little more than usual. So like, you'd always have a producer's name called in the intro, that Chimney Records, the genius, and that would be a staple, and that would build the producers, But in other ways, I think the artist is very focused on building their brand and wants to make people know that this is me.
Yeah.
All this music is me, and like to a degree, it can be them. They're representing it, but then I do feel that producers should get more light, just because there's a science to music production, and a lot of producers are even the whole brainchild of a lot of songs and albums, but it's really dependent on the producer, because some people do enjoy like being behind the scenes and not being like plastered everywhere and being a celebrity. You can go make your money, like make your big songs, and people don't are running towards you. It's actually probably could be the better life to live. The more chill,
you have to find your own groove. You have to do what makes you feel good and whole,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Kingston, downtown, birthplace, so much, incredible talent, producers, musicians. What would you want to see happen from downtown Kingston? And are there anybody who they have roots from downtown Kingston that you'd want to work with?
All right. Downtown Kingston is a special place. Downtown Kingston, I feel, is a time capsule, and I feel like naturally I have a lot of creative energy here just because of the history.
Yeah.
And you come down here and you immediately get inspired, just because it's not like uptown Kingston. Downtown Kingston, as hard as it might be to get used to sometimes, it's actually a bit more organized than uptown Kingston in terms of the roads.
Oh, the one ways and such.
Right. So I was in New York the other day, and I just remembered that it's like downtown, and it's like the same kind of pathways and everything, and the same kind of energy, and I feel like in order to bring that creative energy back to downtown, I do feel like some more investment has to be done in terms of maybe providing more spaces for creatives to be here and feel safe and enjoy themselves, or maybe providing apartments, housing to creatives to stay downtown and work downtown, or maybe having publications or having certain things that can emphasize the lifestyle of downtown. Like downtown is not just a place you come to go glorious and then you go back to your uptown apartment. It's a place where you can chill, and there's a nightlife, and there's a thing. I know these things take time to develop, but then I feel like once creatives know that I can walk around with my camera, I can walk around with my phone, I can just be comfortable in this space and not have to worry that, okay, well, is downtown as safe as it should be? And, because these are very important things to think about. But I do believe that downtown has a lot of potential.
It does.
To be like a big creative hub. As regards someone that I may know, I actually do not know anyone that is from downtown.
Okay, that's okay too.
But that's just unbeknownst to me, because I'm sure most people would say they just come from Kingston.
Right.
So but I am always open to hearing anyone who has any sort of flair or something that's down here, that's been absorbing the culture down here, and is coming up with something that's interesting,
Yeah. Do you feel pressured after landing such a big accomplishment, being featured on Drake's album? Do you feel any pressure, whether or not you can identify it? Because sometimes you feel it and you can't really say, well, I'm just landed something on Drake's album, and how do I continue this momentum?
Oh, well, momentum is a thing for sure. I think that's where most of the pressure comes from. But otherwise, there's not much pressure, because it's an interesting thing when getting a placement on like a big album or a big anything, is that you have to maximize it. And you have to really work it, because a lot of big songs, enough people don't know who produced it. And like you think you blow up and bust from something like that, but it's just like, if the right connections aren't there, if the right content is not there on your side, then nothing really happens. Granted though, I did get a lot of feedback and a lot of encouragement from that post, and some growth on my end, and I have been kind of getting a lot of people congratulating me and stuff.
Yeah, and then other big artists called to say, "Hey, JLL, can I?"
Big artists.
Hey, what you doing? Hey, stranger.
Yes, that's a very common thing. Yeah, man. Then bless you up, and then them say, "All right, so I want to talk business."
Yeah.
And then it's just like, okay, cool, but that's fine. I'm open to hearing stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it's really just about understanding that it is somewhat of a perception. Like, I am in this big thing, and it's Drake's first song on his album. It's crazy.
Yes, it is a good placement. Yeah.
Right, and it sets the theme for his whole thing. But at the end of the day, it's the music that did it,
Yeah.
It's my energy, my feeling at that time, and what it came about from that really just pushed itself and got itself in different ways.
Right.
And while I just kind of lived my life, went to school and did everything, and so I just see it as that. And wherever the pressure does come in, if it comes from people wanting music, if it comes from trying to keep up a status quo, it's always gonna focus right back on the validity of the music.
So it's not just about, yesterday's price, like Fat Joe. It's not today's price.
The prices always have to go up, but it's reasonable, It's not like I come here and say, yo, say twice,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love that. Where can people contact you? You're on social media, I'm sure.
Yes.
Your page is private?
It's public.
Okay.
So people can contact me at JLLPROD.
Yes.
On Twitter, on SoundCloud, on Instagram, on Facebook too, I believe. Those are the only places that you need to contact me for now.
Or email, just in case there are musicians watching this. Yes.
All right. So all right, I'll give them my email. I have 3 of them.
Give the email.
You can email jeanandrelawrence@gmail.com. You can spell that one. But if you go to my Instagram, there's an email link too.
Google, yeah.
So if you want to reach out and ask questions, that's fine. I'm always open to answering questions and stuff.
Yeah. All right, JLL, it has been amazing. I think, we could talk for more and go into much more concerning producing, but it was great having you. So thanks for joining us.
It's great being here.
I love that. All right, guys. Well, there we have it. Conversation with producer extraordinaire JLL. He's definitely someone to watch. I'm sure he's going to be landing some great accomplishments further on.